Hello, friends. Welcome to BetCraft, where we do predictions, football predictions, and analysis. On a match that's going on every day. And today, we're going to look at some of the games that we have in Europe. Um, you know, but yesterday we saw very catastrophic results. Coming from the fact that most of these European teams, do not fill their full strength squad, considering the fact that those matches were cup matches, and it resulted in a very unexpected result for some of the games that were predicted. Even though some of them also, were successful, but many were not. So in that way, we now decided that even in these ones that we are going to do today, we're going to look at it differently. The way our predictions is now going to be based on goals for any cup match that's going to happen today. So that being said, remember in this channel we give you value and we promise to give you quality predictions and tips, daily. So if it is the first time that you're coming up here, please try to subscribe so that each time we make these videos, you will always be the first to get it through notification on your device, so that you don't miss out on our daily analysis. And that being said, we'll get to the business of the day. And today we'll start with the first match, which is Union Gallows against Club Brugge. It's a cup match. It's a cup match, and looking at these two teams, we see how they're top teams in Belgium, and they're doing very well. The home side have been able to score 39 goals and have also conceded 20 in the past 20 games they have played, and the away side have scored a whopping 46, but they have conceded only 13 in the past 20 games they have played. And bringing all of this together, we came to a conclusion that in this very match, what we expect in this very game, it is an over 2.5. We expect at least 3 goals coming out in this very encounter. Okay, that's that for that very match. And the next match that we have for you today is in Czech Republic, also a cup game where we have Slavia Prague coming up against Sparta Prague. Okay, in this very encounter, we looked at looking at the past 24 these both teams. We see that they are actually scoring teams. They are the home side have been able to manage 48 goals in the past 20 games, and they have also had 16 conceded, and also the away side have scored 42, also conceding 16 goals in the process, and they have been able to also they out of the 20 games they have played, the home side have won 16, they have drawn 2, they have had 2 losses, while the away side have won 17, they have drawn 0, but they have also had 3 losses in the past 20 games they have played so far. So putting all of this together, we'll look at the past 5 games that they have played. We see that for the home side, in the past 5 games they have been able to score over 2.5 goals in 4 out of the 5 past games they have had, and the away side, in all the 5 games they've had, they have seen over 2.5. So that led us to the conclusion that in this very encounter, we're going to expect at least 3 goals coming out in this very encounter. Okay, that's that for this. And the next game that we have for you is in England, where Liverpool will be coming up against Southampton. And we looked at these games. We see you can also all attest to the fact that Liverpool is a Premiership team and is a very big team, and they are actually a team that is in a very good form. They're scoring a lot of goals, winning their matches, and also Southampton is in Championship, and cannot be compared to the class of Liverpool. And we can see that in the past 20 games for Liverpool, they've been able to win 15. They have drawn 3 and they have had 2 losses, while on the other hand, Southampton have been able to manage 13 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses in the past 20 games they've played. Pretty impressive for Southampton. But in the past 5 games that both teams have played, we see that Liverpool have managed 4 wins, out of 5. Only losing to Arsenal on that occasion. And Southampton have only managed 2 wins and have had 3 losses in the past 5 encounters. And putting all that together, we saw that Liverpool is the side fancy to win this very match, and it is the home side to win, Liverpool to win in that very encounter. Going to the next game that we have for you, it is in Greece. It's Greece Super League, not a cup match. Panathinaikos coming up against the Olympiacos, and in that very encounter, we looked at how both teams have fared in the past 20. We see that the home side have managed 6 wins, 5 draws, and 9 losses, while Olympiacos, which is their away side, have been able to acquire 12 wins in the past 20 games I've played, and I've had 4 draws and 4 losses. And looking at the recent games also, we'll see that the home side, have only managed 1 win. Out of 5 they have played, and they have also had 2 losses and 2 draws, while the away side have won all of their past 5 games. Okay, in this very encounter, it is easy that we come to the conclusion that the away side is expected to take the spoils. Away win in this very encounter, Olympiacos to take the spoils. That's the value for the game. And the next is also in Greece, where we have Panseriakos coming up against Paxolonica, or Paxolonica in this case. And we'll see that also looking at the 20 games that both teams have played, we'll see that the home side have only managed 18 goals, and they have also conceded 36, while the away side have been able to manage score up to 56 goals, conceding just 16 in the past 20 encounters they've had so far. And looking at how they fared in those 20 encounters, the home side have been able to win 4, they have drawn 7, and they have had 9 losses in the past 20 encounters. While the away side have won 16, and they have drawn 1, and they have had 3 losses in the past 20 encounters. Okay, and looking at how they fared in the last 5, so that Pax Salonika have won 2 of the last 5 games they have played so far, and they have lost 2 and they have drawn 1, while the home side, have lost 3 and they have drawn 2. They have not managed any win in the past 5 games they have played so far. And that led to the conclusion that the away side will take the spoils in that very encounter. That will lead us to the next game that we have for you today. It is in Italian Serie A match, where we have Sassuolo coming up against Napoli. Sassuolo is ranked 17 in the Italian Serie A, while Napoli is ranked 9 in Italian Serie A. And looking at the past 20 that both teams have played, we'll see that the home side have been able to score 21 goals in the past 20 games they have had. They've also conceded 38, while the away side, Napoli, have only scored 18, while they have also conceded 27 in their past 20 games they've had so far. And looking at how they fared, we see that the home side have managed just 2 wins in the past 20. They've had 6 draws and they've had 12 losses, while the away side, Napoli, have also gotten 6 wins, 5 draws and 9 losses. Also, Napoli was affected by, they had 2 of their key players in AFCON, the likes of Victor Osimhen and Ango Anguissa, playing for Cameroon in the AFCON. And both of them are back. We saw them, getting better results. And I expect Napoli to come up winners in this very encounter. And because they will be ginger to defeat Sassuolo in this very encounter. Also, looking at the past 5 for Sassuolo have lost 4 out of the past 5, and they've had just 1 draw against Torino, and have lost every other 5 games they have played. And Napoli have managed 1 win in the past 5, drawing 3 and losing just 1 to AC Milan. Okay, and that leads us to the conclusion that in this very encounter, we expect Napoli to win. The verdict is Napoli to win outrightly in this very encounter. And still in Italy, in the Italian Serie B, where we have Venezia coming up against Itagella in Italian Serie B match. And looking at how they fared so far, we'll see that the home side have scored 43 goals and they have conceded 27, while the away side have scored 29 and are also conceding 29 goals. And in the past 20, they have been able to win. The home side have been able to win 12, and they have had 3 draws and 5 losses, while the away side have won 8, 3 draws and 9 losses in the past 20 games they have played so far. And looking at the recent results, we'll see that the home side have managed 3 wins in the past 5, and they've had 1 loss, which was against Parma, and 1 draw in the past 5 games. But the away side have lost all the 5 matches they have played in the recent time. So that led us to the verdict that it is the home side who is going to take the spoils in this very encounter. Home win, that's the verdict for that very game. And the next game that we have for you is in Scotland Premiership, where we have Kilmarnock coming up against Rangers in that Scotland Premiership. We'll see that also in the past 24, the home side, Kilmarnock have managed 10 wins, 6 draws and 4 losses, while the Rangers, which is the away side, have, out of 20, they have won 17, and they have drawn 2 and had just 1 loss. And they have also scored 47 goals and have conceded only 12 goals in the process. And in this very occasion, as well, we look at the past 5. Kilmarnock have been able to win 3 out of the past 5, and they have drawn 2. while Rangers have won each of the 5 matches they have played. They have won every of the past 5 matches they have played, and that led us to the conclusion that Rangers is going to take the spoils in this very encounter. Rangers to win. That's our verdict for that very game. And the last game of the day is in Turkey, where we have is a Turkish Cup. We'll have Besiktas coming up against Konyaspor in that Turkish Cup match. We'll see that Besiktas recently, they are in fine form. They have won 11 out of the past 20 games they have played, and they have had 3 draws and 6 losses, while the away side have had 6 wins, 7 draws and 6 losses in the past 20 games I've played. And in this very encounter, we will also look at the past 5 for the both teams. You see that Besiktas have won 4 out of the past 5 games I've played, and Konyaspor have been able to win 3 out of the past 5 games, and they have had 1 loss and 1 draw. And in this very game, the two teams seem, very good, and being a cup game, we don't know what we expect in this very game, but we expect at least an over 1.5 goal, 2 goals in that very encounter. That's the verdict for that very match. And that concludes today's prediction on BetCraft. And remember to like our video, remember to share our videos, remember to also subscribe so that each time we make our video, you'll always get notified. And in that case, you won't miss out on our predictions. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow for the next predictions. Okay, I wish you best of luck.